Welcome to episode number 14, Flight Room TV. I got my fellas here. We got one missing, B Morg, but he won't be here with us this episode. He'll be back on next episode. So all of his fans, don't listen. He'll be back shortly.
You got fans?
We got fans out here, man. Just want to say to some of our new followers, you have posted comments and also suggestions for topics. So if you are a new listener, please make sure that you look at our subscribe actually first on our YouTube, Flight Room TV, and then please comment if you have any suggested topics that you want us to discuss or that you would like to hear opinions on. You can also just send us a message. So episode 14, guys, I want to jump right into it. So one of the first topics is, what do you want to include? If you had one item that you would want to include in your man cave, what would that be? And so y'all can marinate it on a little bit. So this is something that I actually saw. I went to an open house like 2 weeks ago, and by the way, like I'm literally just trying to do things to stimulate my mind and go places, randomly through this pandemic, because it is tough. I don't care who you are. It's tough on like your social aspect and distancing from friends and family and stuff like that. I went to Annapolis near the water, and I saw this man cave, and it literally had like a full bar in the man cave. Like it said welcome to it was like Jake's Bar on the front of the drink, and it actually looked like similar to Jasper's. I'm not sure if everybody been to Jasper's. It looked like Jasper's setup.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the space, I would definitely put a bar in my man cave.
Yeah, you need like a signature piece, like an animal head, one like a saber-tooth head with his mouth open, so all four of his fangs are showing. Something crazy like that.
That was sick though.
Yeah,
I agree. I probably want to,
because that's what a man cave is. Just create all types of different shit. I just have different corners for shit.
It would be even better if it was like your team logo, but like like massive. So everybody come in, they see that shit.
Yeah, dope ass rug. Probably like a shrine somewhere. Probably like a Jordan shrine or something. Just cool ass Jordan pieces.
I want
sneakers signed.
a big ass theater, like a movie theater, like projection screen with like leather chairs and shit. And I think it was on the cribs 50 Cent had with the Connecticut house, the old Mike Tyson jump, when he had like all the movies preloaded into like the projector. Like this was like before like Netflix was out. Like he had like all these movies preloaded onto like this one little, storage jump. That shit would be vicious. I probably wouldn't even sleep in my bed if I had that shit.
Yeah, that would be dope. Have y'all been to that iPic theater? Like, if I made mine, I would try to like with the recliner
with the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, them chairs are unmatched. They try to put you to sleep.
Yep, I fall asleep down there too.
Yeah.
I have
multiple times. I don't know if I was asleep in the damn theater with them joints. Yeah. I probably had to do that. Yeah, I would do a cross between Paul's joint and Randall joint. Gotta have like a little theater in that joint and a bar in the back. And with the Pittsburgh, Steelers logo's going up in there. You might find a little Redskin something. You might find a little Redskin.
Like a bobblehead or something.
All that turn around, you press a button, turn around and show all.
He got a Redskins shrine.
I'm on 360.
Yeah, I'll probably just get a jacuzzi in my joint. That's probably all I really need. I mean, I already got like my music shit and all that. So the only thing I need is to add to more like relaxing and shit like that. So I probably just, you know what I'm saying, just add a jacuzzi. I think that probably just be a good thing to add to it.
So relaxing.
Anybody adding a poll?
All in the mag.
Might as well, right?
That's inappropriate.
Exacto.
They deem that sexist or something.
Oh God.
I have one in the back though. One in the back room.
It's in the back room with the red door.
In the
red
boom
door,
boom
don't
room.
open the door.
The champagne room.
I'm just simple, man. I'm just getting a pool table, and then also it's super simple. But I'm throwing up a framed, autographed Deion Sanders 49ers jersey.
Classic.
That's where he became my guy, and I have that in the crib. That's me.
That's what I'm saying. That's a nice little signature piece.
That'd be a talking point too. Every time somebody come down, they probably talk about that.
Oh, brought it up. You talked about how this pandemic is super crazy or what have you. So what's shit? Damn. What's the most positive thing you've seen, or what's the most positive thing that you think is going to come out of Corona?
Good question.
This shit right here. We started this shit during Corona. This podcast. Like, I don't think we'd have done it without this shit.
That is
that's
true.
a good point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. More time with your friends, even though it's not in person or whatever.
Yeah.
More time with your family. You know.
Yep. And it's like more time for people to perfect their craft too. Right. I know it's been people that's been itching to get to like starting a business or like I don't even know, even cleaning out your damn garage and shit. People to like, you know, because you had the time. It's like time is like, I don't want to say a luxury, but you can manage that shit a lot easier now.
Yeah. I definitely like self-taught myself a lot of shit like over Corona, like between like editing videos and different like cooking shit or shit. I just installed a projector in my bedroom and I got like it's sitting on like a little floating shelf.
Sweet.
That shit, like so.
Fancy.
Yeah.
A floating shelf?
I actually been holding on for a couple of things before Corona hit. So I painted my entire garage. I was able to paint the whole garage. I was able to paint. Actually, I did a whole accent wall in the living room too. So that's just a couple of things. I'm studying for just IT stuff, IT related stuff too. So. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm gonna be honest. Like it is some positives. I'm able to actually spend more time with my son. You know what I mean? I think that's a big positive.
Yeah.
Because we take for granted. Sometimes we take for granted. Like during the week, we only see them for a couple hours before they go to sleep. For real, like real talk.
Right.
That's if you get off of work on time. Like if you don't get off, you pretty much just saying goodbye, good night. And then you just so for me that's a big thing. I put him in more sports, so I'm getting him to hit the golf ball, which he's actually surprising the hell out of me because he got better coordination than I thought.
Young Tiger.
Yeah, man. So golf might be his thing, bro.
Yeah, man, get him in the young.
Shit, they make money just to lose. They might as well get a couple mil to lose.
The show, their endorsements are crazy.
So still pull like $2 million.
Yeah. He signed a deal for $5 million just to wear some shit all year.
That's
free merch.
I will say I've been another good thing is I've been able to work out now. You know what I'm saying? You can't work out in the fucking office and shit, but now I'm home or whatever. I can work out now. Working on this keg I got over here. Finally got back in the gym. Gym skis.
Dude, dad bods are in.
I gotta get it out though. I done had it. I had it before it was in. I gotta get it out.
Yeah. I'm just saying, what you think is nasty, some think is sexy.
I'm Gucci.
That's funny, though, Phil, because it's funny because it was a couple of people that were saying they don't mess with nobody under 210. Like they was like, if you under.
Oh shit! I'm 246. I'm 246.
Damn.
Just weighed myself yesterday. I'm 246. Shit.
Under 210?
Yeah. Oh, Phil, you under 210, my bad.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I don't know who said that, but I'm out.
I ain't never been on damn 210.
Make an exception or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing for me is just like the ability to actually sit and be calm, be still, not necessarily have to worry about the hustle and bustle going out, like fighting, not only fighting traffic, but fighting everything else. But more so just, you know, like being able to actually relax for a little brief period of time. I know, you know what I'm saying, you still got work and you still have everything else going on, but actually having the ability to basically breathe for a second. You don't necessarily have to worry about like going out and trying to figure out like exactly like what you got to do and different things of that nature. Like everything that should be done is being could be done within the house and different things of that nature. So that's probably like the most positive takeaway I think for me.
I forgot about that traffic, dog. This DMV traffic is
That show give you
worse.
anxiety, man.
What?
Yeah, that's the traffic died. The traffic went away a lot though. So I mean that's a positive. And I
was gonna say, and I rode the metro, and I rode the metro to and from work. So you know what I'm saying, like that little hustle and bustle day in and day out. So regardless of which way you slice it, if you driving through traffic or if you riding the metro or what have you, like you still got to encounter like all different personalities. But like opportunity or not having that for was it 4 months now?
Yeah.
I mean,
no seats on the train.
Like just saving bread on just driving your car, like because I know a lot of people have been telling me they ain't been on the road at all. Like my brother told me, I talked to him yesterday. He said he drove his car like 3 times in the past 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just that alone, just that back and forth, that traveling. You know what I mean? So.
And gas prices are low as shit right now, dog. Gas prices are low.
I don't know, man. They seem like they're back to regular.
They back.
They raising back up. But
They just raising back up.
Yeah,
they always go up in the summertime though.
It was some good times though.
It was like $1.99 at one point though.
So it was like $1.50. Like it was low.
Like it was 96 out this one. Like it was 1996 out this motherfucker.
Nope. $7 would have got you something nice.
Y'all haven't called y'all car insurance. They are reducing that shit too because of the corona shit.
I had no idea.
I did that shit like first month in.
How much?
They knock off like $70, bro.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And get the, you know how they got them little joints you can plug into your car or whatever? Go ahead and get that shit. Put it in there. I think you only got to have it in there for 30 days. You ain't going nowhere.
No, don't do that.
So, shit. No, you only got to have it in there for like 30 days or whatever. If you're not going nowhere.
You had them days where you got like really be somewhere. Or it's just... it's hard driving, man.
I don't have to drive. That's what I'm saying.
What you talking about though?
A monitor. It's like a monitor.
Yeah. They put a monitor in there. They basically monitoring how fast you go and
all that.
If you're braking too hard.
For what?
To give you a lower rate, basically. To give you a lower rate.
Oh, okay.
It's not worth it though. Don't do it.
I
It's
don't know. I
not
don't be
worth
having the patience for shit like that. I don't think I could
it. Yeah,
just
man.
not
Yeah.
drive
No,
over the speed
the
limit.
only reason why I say
You-
it is if you're not driving. If you're not driving, go ahead and get that joint.
Nah, you'll overthink that shit and mess up anyway. Like you'll be so worried about it, like you're still gonna mess up somewhere.
Nah,
Seriously,
I can't do that.
you're gonna be forget to look over your shoulder, and then somebody gonna honk horn at you. Up 5 points is right there. I'm telling you, any little thing.
So I was
You're gonna be speeding a little bit. You gotta get around somebody. You're gonna a little over the speed limit.
I was gonna piggyback off of Marcus and talk about depreciation also. So like, I don't think a lot of people don't realize how much depreciation goes into their car too, as far as the miles that you put on it every month.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about within these 5 or 6 months how much miles you didn't put on your vehicle, because that's thousands of dollars that your vehicle is not worth anymore. For anybody who's got a car note.
Oh yeah.
Something I look into because I'll be switching up cars.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. I'm with you. I definitely understand that shit.
Another thing this corona shit is, I'm like, it got me feeling like fuck this 9 to 5 shit. That shit ain't.
Oh yeah. That's what makes you realize you don't need the middleman. You don't. Yeah, you can be the direct connect.
Like going back to work, I was like, man, this shit is not worth it.
Exactly. Especially once they start talking to you, you're like, man, look.
What aspect is like the shit that make you want to just have your own shit? You know what I mean? Like what aspect of the 9 to 5 life where you like, I can't fuck with this part? You know what I mean? Is it like everything? Is it like the what's called like the workplace politics? Is it just the spending time doing shit you don't want to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like what aspect of it?
Just being home spoiled and having the time to spend time with loved ones and stuff. Like that's.
Oh, yeah, okay, true.
That's the thing. And then also just like, the everyday bullshit, the everyday politics. Like why should I have to, do this for, X amount of dollars when I can like struggle and figure out what something to enjoy doing.
Yeah. Or even just answering to another motherfucker. Like I don't like that shit. I don't like having to answer to everybody. I hate that shit. Like that's like the worst part, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that shit. I like even if you late, like I don't even like a nigga asking me why I'm late. Like nigga,
exactly,
like, you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Especially during these times, like nigga, like it's a lot of going on right now. Like don't do that shit.
And it's just sensitive times anyway. Because like even if you're gonna direct somebody in the job, say whatever, like shit's hard, man. People ain't trying to hear nothing. And then like even if they getting paid.
My first couple of days back, like I already knew like my social skills was terrible. like I was ready to like snap every like little smart comment.
Yeah.
And I didn't care.
Yeah, nah, because you understand that shit. I feel you too. Like people be excited, like they never. I'm like, I don't know, encounter shit. It'd be work.
You gonna do tail on me? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's how they get their
fire
bonus
me.
points.
They gonna fire me.
It's how they move up. But nah, man, I feel you on all that shit. And just like the time it takes for a job, the time that it takes out of your day, realizing that shit.
Yeah.
That's like a huge impact.
And it's and it take the energy it takes. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Just traveling to work. Traveling
to and from.
Like that shit is what, 3 hours right there. Just chalk that shit up. Then you working 8 hours, dealing with some other motherfuckers, different energy, personalities. Then you try and come home and decompress. You only have time for that for real. You sleeping, about to be back into that shit.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy.
No family shit, and then you giving fucking 35% back to the motherfucking government.
That too. But nah, I feel you on that, especially that family aspect. Like people are starting to get attached to that feeling too. They're not gonna like working. I don't think it's gonna be a success when shit does open back up and people can like go back to work. They already like making that decision now. Transition is happening now.
Yeah, because if you think about it, people was getting $600 a week, man. That some of them didn't even get paid $600 a week, and so like $600 a week. You know, how you gonna convince them to go back to work?
Exactly, dog.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
a month of that shit, 4 weeks of that shit is $2,400.
Yeah.
I know motherfuckers is acting up. That's just off the whatever. You know what I mean?
I know some people that went on unemployment. I know some people that went on unemployment still was getting their regular pay plus that $600 every. You know what I'm saying? So they was pimping the system. They was basically getting an extra $600 every goddamn week on top of their regular pay, sitting at home. So why would you go back to work?
Exactly.
Right.
I know big
Like, why would you?
decline to
And
come back.
You said what?
I know a lot of motherfuckers at work that declined to come back.
Yeah.
Decline unemployment?
No, decline the offer.
Come back.
Oh, hell yeah, I feel you. I ain't mad at that.
But that might not work out in their favor though. Come tax
even
time.
when my cousin worked, like I guess a lot of people went on unemployment because of COVID, and then now they having a hard time getting people to come back, so they don't even have enough employees because they can't bring everybody back because those people still rather stay on unemployment. You know what I mean? So that's just how that shit is, right? Some companies can't even hire people back now. Shit is crazy.
I should have said shit. That's awesome.
And that's another thing though, but now is the time to infiltrate the system. Like if you wanted like a fucking, I guess, corporate Fortune 500 job or whatever, go ahead and tweak that resume something serious and then just get in there.
It is because there's probably a lot of people who ain't trying to come back to work.
Nope, just politic that shit. You can do that shit right now.
So we're talking about money, right? We're talking about money. So how much money would y'all put on us if we had to go against Tom's podcast?
The whole check.
Oh shit.
The whole check.
The fucking house.
How much money?
The whole
Hey,
check.
whole time for context, you got we actually do gotta give them a shout out. We gotta give them a shout out and let people know exactly who they are. So it is, what is it? Those guys over there podcast.
Those guys over there.
So the only reason I want to say that is because elsewise it might not be like, they'd be like, who we challenging?
They're gonna say that.
We are literally.
It's TGOT podcast or something like that. TGOT.
Yeah, we just said that, Corey. We are challenging.
No, I'm trying to get this.
Officially challenged.
We are officially challenging those guys over there podcast to a hoop
on the court,
and we will bet the bread. So I will put up whatever it got to be.
I'll put up 100. Shit,
it gotta be more than that.
All right, we talking about as a team.
We talking about as a group though.
Like 1,000 in.
So 100 a hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I mean,
you've already seen our bets on here. That's light. All right.
But if we want to go 250 each, I can do that too. It don't matter.
Yeah. I don't care. We about to do. We can take that. Whatever y'all wanna, whatever y'all need, go ahead and bet that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna take the bet.
The bigger the check, the bigger the sweat.
Yeah, man. Nah, go ahead and throw that. I support it 100%.
No ref, no calls. I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah, you have.
If we're gonna make this a real thing, we're gonna definitely have to put down at least 100 each. If we're gonna make this a real thing, we're gonna at least put down 100 each. If we're gonna make this some real shit.
I want more.
But I mean, what we gonna do? We just gonna be doubling up. Then that's it. If we beat them, so then that's it. I mean, what we gonna do with that?
Let's double up.
I mean, all right. And also, they gotta stream their channel as ours one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, throw some of that promo.
A swap cast, but not swap just on your shit. We move and work on their block.
Yeah, we taking that over. But double it, triple it, whatever. I'm ready to show up. Whatever you need.
We really gonna do this. Y'all got, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we really gonna do this shit. We gonna have to take some heads off. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm already
trying to do this shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was saying, didn't we kind of hoop them already though? Didn't we kind of hoop them? Last time we played basketball, wasn't most of them in there, joint?
It was just Tom.
It was
So,
like,
I thought the grass was in that drink. The grass.
I mean,
The grass.
you ain't gotta. I mean, yeah, he was in there.
If they want to, I doubt they want to.
I don't
Nah,
think
they're not gonna want to. They're not gonna want to put up the bread. I know that.
I don't think they're gonna accept it, bro.
I don't either.
Anyway, I think that's too much light we shine on them. But if they want to see us, 5-on-5, y'all name the court, y'all name the bread, y'all name the price. But at the least, we're gonna need our airtime, and we're gonna need at least 100 a head. So you have 48 hours after you see this podcast to respond. Otherwise, we're gonna think you chicken shit.
Nah, exactly.
Who up with this versus? What's the score?
Shit, Snoop is probably watching this motherfucker.
Probably is.
Yeah, Snoop.
Oh yeah, then you gotta remember the shit that Snoop did with Nate Dogg too. So I mean,
Yeah, that's
He pulling out all
competition.
classics.
He got Nate Dogg, fucking Dre, and
Boss's
fucking
life.
Tupac. Who else he need?
Everybody's saying Snoop, yeah.
Yeah, but you knew that shit was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's somebody like
You got the bitch please joint.
the production look way better.
Yeah, it's way better. Plus, they both. It's almost like they both performing.
Right. You think that Swiss and them they gave it a apple?
Hey,
Can't
Swiss and Timberland. They
What about it?
Said what?
They sold it to Apple, this versus shit.
Yeah, I saw that. They said they were just doing that so you could stream it on more channels.
Because it looked
Supposedly.
definitely looked better. Sound better.
They just trying to make some bread.
I don't think they sold the whole ownership to them. I think they sold the platform so they could actually stream. I don't know though, but that's why.
Yeah, it was more of a streaming chip. Distribution.
Make money off of
Make money off anything these days. That's another thing people just realizing. You make bread.
What you got in front of you? What you got in front of you, Phil? What's that?
Oh man, this is a sour beer. It's called Sippin' Pretty. Hold on, here we go.
Is it IPA?
Nah, it's sour. It's O'Doul Brewery. It's good.
Duels?
Oh.
Non-alcoholic beer.
No, it's not it is alcoholic. What? Why would I do that to myself?
O'Doul's definitely.
Yeah, man. It's a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, let's jump into the wings. What was it? What was it? Top three wing spots?
No, who got the best? Who got the best period?
Best period. Okay.
Yeah.
The best wings?
Best wings.
Wingstop lemon pepper all day.
Oh.
Yo, it's a spot in Georgia though. It's called JJ's Chicken and Fish. They chicken wings are crazy. Lemon pepper. Them shit's good. Wings is hard though.
I mean, there's not a lot of places that make really good wings though. Some people a lot of places make trash ass wings.
Yeah, that's
so.
And
I'm a connoisseur, bro.
I think Wingstop's game is going like down. Like the last time I had Wingstop, like it's like I got 2 bites off of one piece of chicken. I was skimpy as fuck. I was actually mad.
I had a little Wingstop over the weekend. It wasn't that bad. It was alright.
Man, my shit was bad.
Me too. I had some Wingstop too.
Back to back bad instances, and I that shit turned me off. But I went to one spot that surprised me is BJ's. I'm not sure if anybody been to BJ's, but their wings they are hitting like it's they got this dry rub with a little bit of, it's like a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice to it, and then they got sweet chili with the hot peppers on it, man. Ooh.
It's a restaurant or the BJ's I know is just like the big ass Sam's Club or some shit.
Like a brewery.
It's one that Boo Johnson is.
Oh, that joint. Okay. The brewery type joint. Yeah.
Y'all fuck with Hooters wings?
Nah.
Sometimes.
You fuck with
Hooters is like overrated to me.
Sometimes you gotta order the right one.
I like them honey garlic joints, or the honey garlic or spicy garlic, whatever that shit is. One of them joints. I fuck with them joints.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
The
just
traditional
bring up what's the
Daytona
joint called? Lucky. What? Yeah, it's a joint. What's the joint in College Park? It's like Lucky something, and they got one in fucking Laurel area or whatever. I forgot the name of the joint, but they got some Old Bay wings and them joints.
Hard times?
Yeah, Al, those wings are fire. Hard times wings are fire.
Oh yeah, I had Hard Times. Hard Times is good. They got good chili.
Yeah.
Yep. Didn't you take? Yeah, I think you put me on it. Yeah, good chili and all that.
They broil them and then they grill them. Them joints are fire.
Yeah.
Nah, they are.
America's Best Wings. Y'all fuck with America's Best Wings?
Nah.
They got them good honey Old Bay joints.
They
I
got
like I like they lemon pepper. You gotta ask for the extra seasoning when you go to that joint though. I fuck with
It's
that.
about season them up.
What's another joint? Phil, I think I took you to this joint too. West End Grill in Annapolis. And they had
Was it on the water?
Nah,
It's like right off the exit, right?
right off the exit.
I know what you're talking about.
They got them blueberry barbecue joints.
Blueberry barbecue.
That sounds crazy.
That's
I'm about to be out there. I know, right? I'm like, hold up.
I want that
Blueberry
now.
barbecue. Goddamn.
Fire. They got good. They got a sneaky good menu over there.
Annapolis got some good spots though, like seafood and all that shit.
Another one I fuck with is called Hideaway, and this shit is like down the street here.
Oh yeah, Hideaway with the pool tables.
Yeah, they got they smoked and then they fry 'em. Them joints are fire. I can run through like 20 easily.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm saying. I appreciate somebody that they take pride in producing some quality wings. Some of this shit is terrible.
Yeah. Them smoke wings, they only make like a certain amount a day. Even like Smoky Bones, they got good smoke wings, but they only make a certain
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
We used to hit that happy hour up in college and shit all the time.
Oh yeah, that Bowie Smoky Bones was litty.
Yeah, we used to hit that shit up.
go too late.
That joint up on the
They
regular.
only be available because they only make a certain amount a day. They ain't gonna just put more on.
I'm still going with Bonchon, my soy garlic.
Oh, you like those? Aren't they like Chinese fried wings?
Yeah, them
From where?
They be crispy.
Bonchon.
I ain't tried it. I ain't tried that.
I mean, for real, I fuck with carry out wings for real. To be honest with you, them shits just still be hitting depending on where you get them from.
We go Kenny.
We talking about the fried jumps? Fried joints.
This is right not too far from where I live at called Eddie's. It's called Eddie's. Yeah, now with mumbo sauce, you know, like when you get the fried rice, mumbo sauce. Yeah,
That's classic. You can't go wrong.
they got a joint like that right up the street.
Hey,
You can't go wrong with that ever.
mumbo sauce on the side, or you tell them to put it on there?
I tell them that I put it on myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't let them put it on for me. I get it on the side. I put it on myself.
Get it on the side.
I say put that joint on there and put it on the fries too, dog. Don't fuck my shit up.
Yeah, but I like my shit with fried rice. I like mine with fried rice though. I like my joint with fried rice.
Another joint I throw up there too. It's just personal, just because they got y'all said mumbo sauce too, but the Hamilton joint, the Hamilton wings too.
Hey, Hamilton be his man. Hamilton, that's my little spot.
Yeah, that's like the only restaurant with mumbo sauce.
Yeah, nah, that shit's straight. I like them little booths and shit too. You like in a little train booth.
That shit was, I shot them out on our Yelp edition.
Hamilton they got a couple dishes that I only go.
Yeah.
Their ribs is hitting too, and I don't order ribs a lot, but I get the ribs. Oh, baby back joints.
Nah, they got good ass drinks too.
Mm-hmm. And you can get like sushi. You can get a fucking.
You get everything, man. And the place is fucking nice.
Yeah.
Shit. Hamilton's straight.
I will say that Yelp episode definitely helped people out. Like niggas need to see that shit. It was a lot of restaurants. I'll be looking back at that shit like hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like that episode was a real good. That was a good little session we had.
Have y'all been to any restaurants lately?
Yeah.
Corey said,
I went to Carrabba's like 2 weeks ago. I mean,
Yeah.
ain't nothing crazy. But yeah.
I will Uber Eats these motherfuckers, but I ain't been inside one in a minute.
I sat outside too.
I did an outside joint. Then
I went to Bonefish, and it was pretty cool. They had every other table was empty, so it wasn't like people was right next to you and breathing around you. So
right.
Yeah,
Y'all brave.
That's how it was when I was at Carrabba's. Same shit.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, I mean, like a Saturday evening, like maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock. It wasn't nobody in there for real. Like it was probably like 4.
So that shit is
So
like,
right now, if you go to a restaurant, it's not like niggas is gonna be like people still ain't really eating inside like that. So if you go, you probably not gonna really deal with a lot of people. And for real, that shit was chill. Like to be in a restaurant, it was like that shit was chill as fuck. To be honest.
You get
so
get some good service real
peaceful.
quick.
Yeah.
it was almost like you rented it out for yourself.
It kind of felt like it.
Yep.
See that.
Bonefish got that good bang bang shrimp.
Oh yeah, man. What is that, like $5 Wednesdays or something? Wednesday used to have that shit.
Wednesdays.
Yep.
I know how to make that shit now though.
Boy, man. Yeah, you talk about some bang bang chicken.
Oh, I don't know if y'all ever been to Sobeys, but Sobeys got some hitting wings too.
Yeah, I went to Sobeys. Yeah, Sobeys alright. Yeah.
So y'all can walk there, can't y'all?
It ain't that
It's close. It ain't that. It's close, but I ain't walking.
Oh yeah, Kobe. I know. Sobe like Greenbelt kind of land.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all, since y'all talking about food, who got the best fries?
Five Guys.
Nah.
Man,
I got the Wingstop in there again too.
Talking about like fast food or anywhere, right?
Anywhere. It's between.
You
For
said
me,
no,
it's between.
fries ain't good.
Wendy's. On top of my head,
Wendy's?
I'm going with Wendy's.
You think
Off the
Wendy's?
top of my head, I fuck with Dick Frank.
I think it's between Checkers and Wingstop. I don't know what the fuck Wingstop putting on there. I think they put like sugar and pepper.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like.
Them motherfucking fries be hitting.
I see what style of fry you like, because you said Checkers and Wingstop. It's like the same, like you know what I mean, the same cut. So
yeah. I ain't the after that I probably since we were talking like that, after that I probably go with what's it called? Chick-fil-A. I like the Chick-fil-A Jones.
They gotta be hot.
Depending on which Chick-fil-A you might not get no salt on that motherfucker, but they might put the right amount of salt on that.
But that's what's fucked up about Chick-fil-A, man. You can go there and get like 5 big ass fries. They'll take up the whole little box, man. That might be it.
It's true though.
Big flat waffle fries.
But the customer service is impeccable.
Oh, it's immaculate.
You know how long it took me to find out that they be telling them to say my pleasure and shit? Like I was like, these niggas polite as shit. Like, but nah, like that's what they supposed to say.
They train the hell out of them.
Yep. But work them, man. Get all the sauces, get all that shit, man. Just work the fuck out of them. They still enjoy it.
Yeah. Throw that Polynesian in there, please. My pleasure. My pleasure.
You heard they sweet sriracha joint? That joint's fire.
Yeah, that's good. You like that that barbecue honey mustard they got?
With the grilled chicken?
Yeah, that's great. It's great.
I've never had a grilled chicken from there yet. I haven't had the grilled chicken.
Man, I've had everything on their menu.
I always get the nuggets. I always get the 12 count and the chicken sandwich. Tell them throw some cheese and some bacon on that bitch and throw the Polynesian in the bag, please, and thank you.
Like, I don't never get full. Like it's something in that shit. Like I don't never like, or even if I eat a lot, like 30 minutes later, I'm hungry again. It's like air.
Yep.
Empty calories and shit.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Don't make sense. Like any other fried chicken put me to sleep, but that joint, I'd be 1 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a little hair one. They put a little hair one in there. That's all.
Quick question. Like when black owners own, like hypothetically speaking, we just want to say Chick-fil-A just because we talk about Chick-fil-A. Is it considered us patronizing a black business if it's a black owner because they are a franchisee, or is that, you know what I mean, or are we still patronizing Chick-fil-A as a whole? If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, it's a franchise. It's a franchise. It's a franchise.
Good question, Al. I mean,
Are we supporting black business that way?
This is my dilemma with that, right? So, like, if you know, like, let's say you own a Chick-fil-A, right, Al, and all of us know you own the joint, but of course it's a corporate, it's a corporate entity, so they get kickback, and it might be a white owner or whatever. So I say I would still buy it because I know my friend has it, and you're black. But if it was somebody that I didn't know, I honestly don't know. I don't know. I might feel the same way as it is a white business. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. Because who actually does the research to just show individual owners of each, location? So that's
nobody does.
Nobody.
They have on Twitter, and they choose who the ones in the area that are black owned. I think the one in Glendale is black owned. The one like in like all of them. I think most of the PG Junks are like black owned.
So that's pretty dope because
That makes sense.
like how Howard has the highest grossing McDonald's right near Howard Homecoming in the whole U.S. I feel
Right down the street.
Yeah, I feel like if we did like show patronage or whatever, only the black businesses, I think that would be a big difference between, how much some Chick-fil-A's are grossing, especially in PG County, than the ones that aren't, So that would, I think that would be actually a good separation just to show your business.
How does that work though? Like when you franchise like a store out, do you still got to kick back some to like the mother jump?
Yeah, the corporate always.
You got to, because using their name and their likeness.
Right.
Yeah.
They always.
Like, could put it like this: like if you was to start your own, let's say you want to start a burger joint with your own name, your own likeness, it might be harder to get people in the door. But if you just go buy McDonald's, I'm putting a new McDonald's in this part of town, I'm gonna be getting bread like that. But that also comes with you having to kick money back to the big corporation. So, the shit balances itself out either way. Either you're going to get immediate people coming to your business to eat, or you're going to have to work your way from the bottom. But you got to sacrifice, having your own shit. You got to give it back to them. But to answer your question, Alex, if I know it's black owned, even if, like let's say that July 7th shit, if I know that's a black owned McDonald's, I think I'm hurting that black person if I don't go. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I would have to look out, at the end of the day. Like Paul was saying, if one of y'all niggas own the Wendy's or some shit, I'm going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm not going to support that shit just because a white man owns that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I can't do that. So.
Nah, I figured I asked the question just because I feel like I seen that junk floating around, especially like knowing some of the, especially like with like how many black owned like McDonald's there are, as well as black owned Chick-fil-A's, and we were talking about it. So I would just figure like, I'm saying that would be a good question to ask, like figure out exactly like, is it still quote unquote celebrating a black business, although they are a franchisee of another organization.
Yeah,
I mean, and even look at it from this perspective, it's like, we will assume there's not a lot of black business owners, so just because it's a fact that even if you can, run a franchise McDonald's, why not celebrate that? That's beating the odds on some level. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's the money still going to the white man.
I mean, but that's like but even that's like going and buying a Steelers jersey. You know what I'm saying? You still at the end of the day, you might,
it's a franchise.
that might be fucking. Who's your man? like AB. Let's just say when he's playing there, you buy AB, you get money, some of that money, but the Steelers is getting most of that shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
At the end of the day, even then the NFL get money off the Steelers. So
yeah.
you know,
So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
it's all about the nigga who creates the opportunity. The nigga who creates the opportunity is one who gonna benefit off the shit the most.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's all it is.
So because you brought up football, and I just changed the topic just a tad bit. It's always been something that's on my bucket list. So I'm gonna ask, what's top three things or three things on your bucket list? One thing, and I'll pass it, and then I'll rotate and come back. But one thing that's always been on my bucket list is to go to a dunk contest, like all-star a dunk contest, like with the family and everything. Like literally, just go to a dunk contest, the 3-point shootout, and all that. Like I don't even necessarily have to go to the game. I could go to the game depending on how they playing, but the dunk contest and 3-point shootout, I love to go there. I'll pass it to somebody else, and then maybe I'll come back. But
Wait, hold on. Real quick question on that though. How hard do y'all think it is to get into like NBA All-Star Weekend? I feel
Not
like
hard
because
at
I
all.
feel like it's nothing but celebrities. I feel like it's just nothing but celebrities at that shit. Like it don't be no just regular common folk going to them the
Especially-
actual game. They're going to
I
the
thought
actual
y'all went one
slam
year.
dunk contest.
Didn't y'all go one year like
I
in
remember-
Vegas or something? Or y'all was posing, y'all was trying to get a trip together or something.
I've been to a couple. I've been to one in LA, the one in Denver, and the one in Brooklyn. Not the dunk contest or anything. Not even the All-Star. I'm talking about All-Star weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
Them tickets be high.
that's like groupie Super Bowl All-Star.
Yeah, it is.
is.
I literally met a chick that didn't even have a hotel room, was just out there just winging it whole weekend and shit. But that's how disgusting it is. It's crazy.
That's gross, yeah.
So it's
It
a
is. You talking
CIAAs
about
on
the
the track.
most trife. That's trife. Like, damn, you're just gonna weasel your way in somehow, somewhere.
hey, I ain't even
Ain't
gonna lie
wash
to
your
you.
ass.
I ain't gonna lie to you, and this might be as bad, but it was years ago. It's close. It was years ago, but we was out Vegas for Memorial Day weekend, and it was a chick that came out to Vegas and literally said she didn't buy a return flight because she was waiting for somebody to pay for her return flight, or she was going.
That's the dumbest shit.
What? In
But
Vegas,
it's
of
sad.
all places, too. Like, how cliche is that? I'm just gonna get it when I get to Vegas. Like, you gonna get your money.
But that
and all
just goes
other
to show
shit.
how many
He probably
niggas will
still
do
out
shit
there.
like that.
Yeah.
That goes to show how many niggas will do it just for her to have that level of confidence to do that shit.
Oh, it's
I mean,
real.
niggas
It's
do
real.
shit like that.
But those be the same ones you see like 3 a.m. crying and shit, hugging themselves, walking up the street and shit.
Hugging
Want
themselves.
to tell you their story.
I feel
How
like
they
you
got
seen
there.
that a lot of times. You sound like you saw
Right.
that shit.
He described that shit too.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to enjoy my night. I'm trying to get to my room. My
So
room
what-
good.
What else y'all got on your bucket list?
Hey, my John is real specific. I got 4. I ain't got 3. My bucket.
Give us one. Give us one right now.
No, I'm gonna give you 4. I want to write and direct my own movie, like unlimited budget. Just I want
I'm with you on that.
to direct my own movie. I get like whatever cash or it don't matter. But definitely that's like number 1. Number 2 is simple. I just want to go to Hawaii, chill out. Like I think the only thing that's like stopped me from going to Hawaii is the fucking flight. I don't like flying. Like I've been to places, but I just don't like flying. That shit is
13 hours, bro.
There's 13 from there?
13 hours.
right. Yeah.
You gotta fly to LA
Yeah.
and to Hawaii.
Number 3, I want to like rent like an old school like muscle car and like drive it through the desert, like from like LA to like Vegas or some shit like that, and play like fucking like Led Zeppelin, like all the way there. It's rocking.
Record that shit. Have a drone on you.
And then I think the last jump, I wanna be like the last person to come out like at like a Royal Rumble and just like beat everybody ass. Just throw everybody out the ring and just win that.
That's a childhood dream. That's a childhood dream.
No, right?
Everybody worn out.
Yep.
The Royal Rumble be cheating though, because motherfuckers be coming in there fresh,
Right.
knocking 3 motherfuckers out when they first get in there.
Nigga been in that joke for
That was
3
my favorite
hours.
shit back in the day. Though. That was my favorite shit. I used to love Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah.
Shit, when that joint was on Nintendo too, I know one of y'all had to play that shit on
Oh
Nintendo.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's
on
it.
the
That shit, that was like the
64
best
too.
game.
Yeah, it was on the 64. That shit was
Oh,
like that.
It was on Sega. It was on Sega too. Yep.
Hey, could you imagine? Could you imagine them having that shit like now with that shit being online?
Ooh, you talking about Royal Rumble?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
The Royal
That'd
Rumble
be-
online
that'd
would be
be
nuts.
tight as fuck.
I'm surprised nobody did it yet.
You
Why
know
ain't
what's
nobody do it
crazy?
yet?
Like Mortal Kombat should do some shit like that. Like have a Royal Rumble. Because they be doing like some off-brand shit, but their shit still be like dope. They should have like a Royal Rumble feature or something. They gonna steal it now. It's gonna be on next edition.
Yeah,
Watch.
No, somebody about to get that shit.
Yup,
Watch.
it's about to be the new feature. God damn it.
Uh-huh. Well,
Corey, where you at? Corey, where you at? What's on your bucket list, Corey?
I was with Randall with the I would definitely love to make my own movie, write, produce, whatever, make my own movie. But definitely number one, I want to go to fucking Egypt. I've never been to Egypt.
Damn, that was gonna be
That's what I
mine.
was gonna say that too.
Gotta go to
But
Egypt.
that's a good pick though.
Pyramids, all that shit, man.
Yeah.
All
Spend
that
some
shit.
time on there, man. At least a week or two.
Yeah.
You went, Paul, right? You was
What's
out
on
there,
my bucket
joint?
list, man? I've been.
What's on your bucket list?
Exactly. I just wanna and I'll go see the same shit like 3 days in a row. I don't even care. I just want that experience, man. Like just to connect with it.
Want to see them
That's the
joints?
motherland.
Want to see them joints and
Yeah,
go
you
to the Mexico and see their pyramids out there, joint, or South America and Mexico.
Yeah.
See all of them joints.
Got pyramids in a few places.
Yeah. You know, did y'all hear they had like a
Yeah, I
they
mean-
got pyramids in China?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they like
they got pyramids.
purposely
They got
planted.
pyramids underwater too.
Yep, underwater pyramids, everything. Yep.
But no, I'm saying in
Yeah,
China
there's
they
been
like
a pyramid. They
purposely
found
planted
pyramids in
shit
the
over.
on the U.S. soil.
They got pyramids on Mars too.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
city of Cydonia.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah, but also like with me, I definitely go to Egypt, and then just to see the Great Pyramids and shit, just to see them in person, because you see all these great structures and shit, like the Empire State Building, but like this something been standing for thousands of years that's bigger than them. You know what I mean? And with technology that supposedly man did with, so supposedly they did it with their hands, like they said. So just to see that with your own eyes, that shit would be crazy. And then also, I probably want to go to. I just want to visit like forces of nature, like even go to like the Amazon rainforest and shit, just to see what that's like. You know what I mean? Like just untouched land. You know what I mean? Just to see how. Well, obviously it's gonna be touched if they're gonna be bringing tourists through there, but you know what I mean? Like just raw rainforest, just experience that shit. I mean, yeah, but just traveling mainly for me, man. That's probably the main shit. Just to go places, a lot of people don't go. You know what I mean? Also, maybe, man, I don't even know. Can you go to the North Pole? Because I know they say you can't go to Antarctica, but can you go that
can't
far?
go to Antarctica, but you can go to North Pole. Yeah.
Shit, I go to North
Go to
Pole
North-
just because, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's cold, just to experience that. You know what I mean?
One of mine be space though. Like even like going to space and knowing you can come back safely. I'll definitely do that shit.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Something
Elon
they
Musk.
about to start letting people do that shit. Like that's
I know. I saw
something
that
that's coming.
shit.
I'm with it.
Allegedly.
They bitten on it.
They say they're gonna put hotels like on the space station or some shit like that. You can get
That's just you gonna need so
ride in the
much
space
bread.
station. Of course, that ain't gonna be for everybody.
Nah.
Yeah. At the beginning, anyway. At the beginning, then it's gonna be like fucking traveling in New York.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like $2 million a trip or something stupid, like 100,000 out, something. Probably more.
Mm-hmm. I had to piggyback off Lighthouse. He said he wanted to go to the Amazon or whatever. I know they got that. What is it, the ayahuasca or some shit? That DMT. I gotta try that shit. I gotta try that shit. Like that. Yeah, nigga.
That's that shit Mike Tyson was talking about, right?
Yeah.
The spirit.
Gotta try it one time.
That's it. That shit make you sick as shit though. Like you be shitting your brains out and then you get high as hell.
Either that or throwing up.
I believe some shit like that can. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would. So Egypt was actually one of my things that I wanted, like, truly on my bucket list. Greece was actually on my bucket list as well. I actually wanted to know my Native American side more as well. So I wanted to go to
That's real.
2 tribes that I'm part of, which is Blackfoot and Cherokee. So I know it's a couple tribes in Arizona and North Dakota that I could actually go to. So that's and then
Hey, quick question on that. Quick question on that Native American thing. It seems like everybody from here got some sort of descendancy with the Cherokees or some shit. Because every person that say they got Native American, they all say Cherokee. So is there some sort of lineage or something? Are they in this like DC, North Carolina? Like, you know, is that Virginia? Like, do they have like is that where they from? Because everybody from here seem to be close to that shit for some reason.
Yeah, I'm just speculating, but I do think that there's a lot of descendants that would like scattered throughout the East Coast. And I don't think that we're that knowledgeable as like Arizona and North Dakota, because they actually practice and they're actually in tribes. So yeah, Marcus, just to answer your question, I think that people might have that might have been passed down from grandparent to grandparent or whatever down here, but they don't know the specifics of it. So yeah, that's my general answer. But I know that my great grandma was she was actually pure Cherokee and Blackfoot, so she was all
Yeah.
Well, there's a theory that says African Americans ain't African. They was already here. A lot of us was already here. What did they?
I'll say this in response to that. I don't have nobody in my family that can tell me any inkling of my connection to Africa, but definitely factual can tell me of my Native American background. That's not that's factual. You know what I mean? So I have a picture of my great grandmother that's a Native American, but no, I don't know anybody from Africa. I'm just saying. I'm just being.
Hey, that's some real shit too. Actually, dog, like mine the same way. You go all the way back with my shit, like pure Blackfoot. Like I can see it, like especially on my dad's side. Look at this nose, dog. It look like a fucking Native American somewhere down my lineage. Dog. That's in my lineage. I know it. So hell yeah. And I read something like recently that said like what was it, like 90% of black people Native American.
They got some type of DNA in there.
There's a lot of intertwining between Native American and African American. I hate to say it, but a lot of our history and stuff was purposely not brought to 2020 and in hundreds of years before that. So it's almost like we trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah. They said they try to whitewash it. It's purpose. Whitewash the Native Americans. Purpose.
It's the reason why. You go to Greece and you go to all these other places and they got statues of all of these people that are like 10 feet tall and like the strongest you've ever seen. But if you think about how strong African Americans and Egyptians and stuff like that were, like they were.
Yeah. They be making sense.
Yeah, shit crazy, man. But
right now I'm reading, it says Cherokees are the indigenous people of the southeastern woodlands. So southeastern woodlands, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of southeast, so it makes sense.
Maryland is the South. That was a slave state. We're the South.
Yeah. They used to colonize in fucking Maryland. Virginia, dog. Virginia's a whole goddamn colony they came.
Harriet Tubman, South Maryland.
Yeah, all that
Maryland.
shit. All that shit over there. Right over there in Alexandria.
Virginia was the biggest colony too. It's
Yeah, man.
Was it the original?
Yeah, Jamestown.
Jamestown.
Yep. So my third was actually owning a beach house. So when I say a beach house, and I'm just being picky because we talking about bucket list, but when I say a beach house, I mean like on the water. And I got this thing about mountains too. So I want to see the mountains at the same time. That's why I think Hawaii is so special. But that flight is no joke. I was out there. I had to go back and forth. I went back and forth out to Hawaii 4 times in 1 year, and that just
Damn.
I was done. I was like, when I did.
How was Hawaii?
It's beautiful, man, but I don't think it's worth the $13. I'm a hater.
I was saying, I hear it's expensive out that joint.
It is expensive. I think I'm just a hater because I had jet lag on the way back, on the way back here, on the way back there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to catch up. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't able to go to every one of those islands. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Big Island, and then I went to Oahu. So I went to 2 or 3, but it's a lot. It's a lot of space you can actually go to out there. So I don't want to turn nobody off to it. So,
My wife says it's the same thing as Puerto Rico, just without the volcanoes.
But one thing I will say, I'm just gonna say this because I was disappointed, and maybe this has changed my perspective as well. If you go to the Big Island, which is the biggest island in Hawaii that everybody goes to, you literally will not see a native until you go to the slums of that.
Yeah.
A real nigga or
Yeah,
just like
Makes sense.
All the white people bought up everything that's near the water, everything that's over
Gentrification sound like.
over 1,000 square feet, all condos. Like the natives don't own anything. We had to go an hour and a half into the land, and then the natives were in I'm not exaggerating. They were in huts, and so like that pissed me off, yo. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
What? So
Yeah,
what? They don't take care of their people?
No, my wife's brother told me. My wife's brother's wife is from Hawaii, and they went there for their honeymoon. He said basically you got the tourist area, and then all the natives are basically poor. It's like you got the tourist area, then everybody else poor. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like Phil, it's almost like gentrification. Like, they put all of them out. They push them all out to one area or to several areas, and it's just I went there at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. It was like 9:15, and they have no lights. Like there's no street lights. There's no nothing. I was like, bruh, like are we going to work? And so we went through the land, and the only thing that actually was lit up was like this bar. Like all of the houses and huts and stuff, like lights are off. Like,
but that's what's crazy. You wouldn't even think that about Hawaii either, especially if it's like a tourist attraction and shit.
Right. I was so disappointed, man.
But hey,
it is a state of the United States of America. So I mean,
Yep.
I mean that's how I felt I told you, fucking Louisiana, dog, in Mardi Gras. That shit was not like that. Overrated.
I heard it stink out there.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
It's really for real? Is it for real?
It's so dirty. That's what I mean by that.
Is it the sewage? It's like the sewage? Like what is it?
Nah, it's just like dirty, like trash. You smell piss and shit too. Because niggas is drunk, peeing everywhere. But aside from that, it's just like, I mean, for it to be a tourist attraction and shit, like downtown is like weak. It's just like, I don't know, it's a terrible representation. I had like a whole different outlook for that place. I mean, and it is like gloomy though. It's like a moody little city though. It's weird. Mm-hmm.
Well, since we're talking about gentrification and different sectors, different nationalities, what do you guys think is acceptable for reparations? And I know this is a loaded question. Um, so I'm gonna give it. We can pause for a little bit, but definitely jump into, if you got one or two things, or if you got a whole list, just go. So I got a specific list. So I don't want to go first.
Nah, go ahead, kick it off. Go ahead, kick it off. You got your specific list.
All right, so this is
Yeah,
on the fly. This is just what I came up with on the fly, and I think I just want to preface it first to say I think as a people we're strong as hell, and I feel like we are the type of people that do not ask for handouts. We're the type of people that want to fight for ourselves and to provide for ourselves. And I think that's just I'm speaking of how I was raised and the people I was around in my product and in my environment. And I feel like it was almost like how Al said. I think Al said this. The the biggest hustler is somebody that don't act like asking nobody for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna provide for himself. So I just want to preface that as I think we don't like handouts. We don't like people to give us stuff. But I think this is worthy just of the disadvantage that we've experienced for the last hundreds of years. So I would say half. I would say half of the mortgage, half of your mortgage balance paid off, right? Uh, or forgiven all the way up to, and this is just my number because I'm quirky. I put $333,333.33. So I put half of your mortgage balance paid off up to that amount, and then equivalent to that amount to calculation for rent. So like if you have an apartment or something like that, then it would just equivalent to that percentage. I put 2 years of college paid for, and that would be equivalent to associate. So at first I was gonna say half off half of your semester or half of your year, whatever. And then I was like, but that means that we still got to put up that money. You know what I'm saying? If we wanted to go to like nice. And so that kind of had me thinking like, well, at least, let's get that 2 years first, which is associate's degree. And then whatever the fuck we want to do after that, we can do it. So at least get that leg up and have an associate's degree on the government's dime. Another thing I mentioned was HBCU donations. So, and this is I was actually specifically asking for donations for the equivalent of what Ivy League colleges are grossing and what they get annually as well, because we gotta it's a point where we actually do gotta compare what we have to what is prestigious and what is highly sought after. So like the amount of money that comes into an organization ties into the quality of what they provide. So the sports academic, the sports section, the science section, the science building, all of that. Like I feel like all the HBCUs should be money fed into them so that it is equivalent to Ivy League colleges. And then the last thing, and I know I didn't touch on everything I want to say, but these is just my first 4 or 5. The last thing was each large corporation should be looked at and analyzed and evaluated. And they should have 50% their leadership, because there's corporate leadership, and we are disproportionately held positions in that aspect too. So I was going to say 50% should be minority, and I think that's fair. Because if you think about it, if 50% are minority, then that means there's still 50% that's white or Caucasian. So I don't think that's a problem. But if you look, I'm gonna say this real quick. if you look at particular mandates now, they have mandates for like government contracts. They have mandates for like, we know about how the NBA, like some teams like Mark Cuban and all of them are now putting in and implementing like 5 to 10%. And I think 5% is like still a small amount. Like if you have to mandate that 5% or 3 to 5% are minority, that's a fucking problem. Like that means 97%. That means even after you mandate everything, 95% is not fucking minorities, bro. Like that's it's obvious that that's a disadvantage. So that's it. I got more, but I'm gonna pass it on.
Like, you cover a lot of fucking area.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even thought about that shit, but especially the leadership shit. But the only thing I can maybe say is just how they give Holocaust survivors or their heirs of Holocaust survivors tax credit or tax cuts. I mean, it should be the same. If you're direct descendant of people who, built this country, you should have some type of tax credit. Or, I mean, even the German government and Austrian government, and I think that even like parts of Switzerland, they give direct reparations to.
Yeah.
So, and that's people that are U.S. citizens. So how does that work?
Mm-hmm.
You got time to do that, figure it out.
And I just want to piggyback off that shit a little bit. So even how we think about like the like how we think about like housing and the different housing situations, like for us, like of course we know about redlining, or we learned about redlining after the fact, but we know about redlining, but we also know about like how white people were able to get like basically a house for approximately like for dirt cheap. And that was able to create generational wealth because they were able to get it for dirt cheap, and they were able to like pay it off. And now like people who were getting houses for like $10,000, now their houses are worth like close to $400,000 and $300,000 and $600,000 or what have you. I think some of those same steps should be in place. Right now, we see like how I know we have an influx of a number of people that are still being able. I mean, still. We have an influx of people that are looking to buy houses, but at the same time, there's also an influx of houses that are being built. There's an influx of land and property that or developments that are being created on a weekend and week out basis. It seemed like I think there needs to be some type of or there could be some type of like action or deal or what have you with that. And then also with the schools, I would say my main thing is. You think about it, like the schooling system, and that's not only going from like grade school, but also up to college, like the facilities and different things of that nature. Like going back, I only speak for myself, like some of the greatest teachers I had teachers, and it wasn't just because of like how they were able to relate, but also like the knowledge and everything that they had, but the facilities and like the actual like resources that they have to provide. It was always subpar as opposed to like actually like if we want to do the comparison to white schools. So like the books and like the lockers and different things of that nature never met. So I think a true investment in our schools and that starts at like grade school, but also reaches out to college. So grade school, a lot of my teachers and a lot of people in those positions, like we always had a lot of teachers that were Black, but we never had like principals and assistant principals and different things that were necessarily. Like I think I had elementary school, I did have a Black principal, but for the most part, most of my principals were white. And so we know that there are Black qualified people, but even if we know there are Black qualified people, but one of the things is how do we get those Black people? And this probably goes back to that leadership portion that Paul was speaking about, getting those Black leaders in place to allow for the actual Black people to be in charge and to create a system that allows for us to grow. So even if you think about like private schools. So if you think that you're getting one of the best educations, you send your kid to a private school, quote unquote, as opposed to being able to send your kid to a good school in the area in which they are going to get like trashy facilities and what have you. So that would be like my two main things that I can think about off the top of my head. Yeah. Corey, I know you had a good one. Corey, you had a good one.
Well, I would go with, since we're talking about school, I don't think it's fair. I see what Paul's saying about getting half off or whatever, but I don't think it's fair. I think more fair would be to say that we should be able to. It should be free. If you have the grades, you should be able. The government should pay for whatever school you want to go to. It shouldn't matter whether it's Harvard, whatever. If you want to go to the HBCU, cool. But I think they should pay for all years or whatever. All years, all of them motherfuckers, all years. I'm talking about undergrad, graduate, all that. I think they should pay for all that shit. They should pay for all that shit. And I'm just saying that because when white people hear the word reparations, they're thinking you're getting a check or something, a check of money, and we're gonna like the Dave Chappelle shit. We're gonna go buy a whole truckload of Newports or some shit like that. But nah, I think definitely with schooling, the government should be able to pay. I know it's taxes anyway, but and it's regular people paying for it, but still, there should.
All right.
It doesn't matter. Every year is billions in the defense budget, and we're not. And the whole purpose. I don't even know why we buy nukes. I don't know why we buy nukes because it's just like insurance. We're not using them motherfuckers, but they want to upgrade them and do all this other shit. But we spending billions on shit that we're not even using. So I'm pretty sure there's room in the budget to make sure all black kids can go to upper echelon anyway, or upper knowledge, upper learning areas, and not even just that. For high school, put them if they should be able to afford for high school upper learning. If you want to have them in elementary school, I don't know, private schools or whatever. I don't really fuck with the private schools out here because after I've been to Puerto Rico, I don't know how many motherfucking times, but like their fucking public schools are trash, just like our public schools are trash, but their fucking their private schools are they got like the new world leaders coming up out of their private schools in Puerto Rico. But yeah, because the private schools out there, joint, you put some money in them joints, and you get around, like, I don't mean to be racist or whatever, but you get around a lot of white folks out there, joint, and that's, y'all done seen the movies and shit. They out here pushing drugs and popping pills and all that shit, whatever. They're not doing that shit in Puerto Rico. But definitely, the government should be able to afford for black people to go to schools to get their higher learning, like the movie, get their higher learning and shit. There was a meme or whatever. It wasn't really a meme. It was actually a video I seen, and they were showing how I think y'all was talking about it earlier about how white folks were able to get houses and all this other shit. They were literally building whole fucking communities and shit. You had black folks coming back from Vietnam and all that shit, and weren't able to purchase houses or whatever. That I don't know if it was a GI Bill or some, I don't know, whatever the fuck it was, but them niggas done fought for their country and shit, and they can't come back and purchase houses. They still consider it a nigga and shit like that. So after we get the schooling together, I think we should be able to put some very affordable housing together for minorities and shit out here. Those are the I think those are the number two. I think those are the two key things to do is learning, education, and housing. Because you know what I'm saying. There's people you can. I know my mom is one of them. She was worried about either I can either get a crib in the hood or whatever and pay for food, or I can get a house in a nice area or whatever, in a nice community, and not have to worry about niggas robbing me and shit like that. So niggas have to think about shit like that when they have kids and shit, you know. So definitely housing and education are the number two reparation things that need to be handled. Those are the number two things. I don't think reparations should necessarily be in a form of a check. Niggas getting a check every month, or actually, and I do agree with Randall too. Definitely some type of tax credit too as well. And maybe some money from the government to fund a business or start a business for any black person. I don't know. And that's another thing they want to if it wasn't the form of a check, that's another thing I'm pretty sure they would have some way to be like, oh, you have to prove that you're a former slave, or you're the ancestor. Your ancestor was a former slave or some shit like that or whatever. You got to go through the books and all that. And I don't know.
Well, that's a good point, Corey. Because all right, so what if, there's been documented black people who weren't slaves and were actual slave owners. So what if you were a black person and you are actually from a descendancy of people who were never slaves, and it's proven, they can prove that you were never a slave, but let's say you're not in a prosperous position. Let's just say the reason why your family's not in a prosperous position is because of just bad decision making throughout the years. Do you still give reparations as a black person, even though you may have not actually been a descendant of slavery directly?
Exactly. That's a good question.
I mean, I'm just asking if it's a good question. It's something to think about.
It's a good question, because that goes in with the whole. That also goes in with the Native American shit. It's can you prove this shit or whatever? Are y'all gonna because Paul, he said he's a Blackfoot and Cherokee and shit. And I know my grandfather was always talking about some Cherokee shit or whatever. But it's I need some paperwork so I can get some tax exemptions out of this bitch or some shit, so I can build a casino or something like this. But I don't know. And that was another thing. The Native Americans would we've heard them say the white people, their language is they may say some shit, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a lie, or you can't prove this, or everything comes down to laws. Everything comes down to laws and shit. And when you get in front of that motherfucking court and that judge and shit, can we actually get some shit? I don't know about this reparation shit. I hopefully we'll be able to get some shit. It's just off some educational shit. I'm not even talking about a check for everybody, but.
So to answer your question, Marcus, I think that's a question, especially because you pose it as you know what I'm saying, people who aren't descendants of slaves. It was just a rough decision or what have you. But the only thing about that is, and this is the discussion with reparations, and I still want to hear your take on, or I would love to hear your take on what reparations, if any, that we should be getting, and then I want to hear Phil's too. But I think it's tough because the history books, or especially some of the things weren't truly documented the way it was. So hypothetically speaking, right. I'll just speak for my own self. My grandmother, not my great grandmother, my grandmother's name on her birth certificate is spelled completely incorrectly, and it's because of like the actual like the documentation and like the mistranslation of not necessarily being able to read and write in North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the two. But one way or the other, this is 1920s or something like that. But like the documentation was off. So even as we think about like the actual documentation, so like I wouldn't necessarily be quote unquote classified as a descendant of a slave because the incorrect name and spelling on, you know what I mean? Well, I not necessarily, I don't want to say like it's possible that I wouldn't be recognized as a descendant of her because of the name correlation and how it was misspelled on a legal document, and that might fuck up the whole translation and fuck up like the whole descendancy of like slavery. But that's a good ass question.
So this is my thing. I discussed this with a couple people, and no, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're born, your mother puts, if you're African American or whatever your nationality is, on your birth certificate. And so I don't know anybody who is marking themselves as African American that is. I haven't met that person yet.
Say that again. You haven't what?
Say it again.
No, you was breaking up or something. Something like I didn't hear you say what.
And I haven't met somebody or a mother that has listed their child as African American that is not African American. And so I haven't met a person that wants all of that on their shoulders if they're not African American. So I would just say anybody that's African American on your birth certificate, I mean, leave it like that. Like if you think about how fast they put out all of this money for the stimulus check, and how, you know, some of these corporations that's already millionaires and billionaires got additional billions. Like they're not hurting. Like this shit ain't gonna hurt them if they, you know what I'm saying? If they issue it to the 11% of African Americans that's in the United States, that shit is not gonna hurt. So I don't think there needs. That's my opinion, is they don't need to be going through like 5 years of research to point out which one's this and which one's that. That's their fault.
Right.
They made this happen.
Yeah.
Lost the paper. They don't know how to track them. So eat that shit. You know. That's how
That's
I
the
feel
first thing they're
too,
gonna
man.
say. We need to research this. We need
Nah,
to
but
take a closer look.
everybody that's black, and they shouldn't even just give it to us as like a check. I feel like they should if people want to go through like the institute way, you know, college or something like that, maybe a stipend or something. Of course, I feel like provide a piece of land, you know, so we can all invest.
I forgot
in.
that one too. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, a piece of land or something that we can all invest in, and then just like community wise, I think I'm trying to like give more like towards building up the community more, like whether it be like learning centers, like convention centers, something like that could like build up the community some way, like spread it out like that. Aside from like a check, like those aspects too.
Question. So let's say the government like gives us a bunch of reparations and money, and they fix the schools up and gives the kids new shiny books and new shiny computers and all this shit, and they fix the football fields and they fix the streets and they do all that, right? Do you think what's more important is the mentality of the people? Like let's say like I could buy you the shiniest new car, but you got to have the mentality to even ride that bitch. You see what I'm saying? You got to have I can get you to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just because like a book is a tool. A book is a tool. Money is a tool. You know what I'm saying? But what matters is the energy that's being put behind it. Like the government can give me $1 million, but what I do with it is what matters, not about what they give me. You see what I'm saying? So we can talk about reparations all day, but it's still on the people once they get that money. Yeah. Just giving you money ain't gonna change shit, because you can wash that shit. That you'll get that money, it'll be gone tomorrow. If you got a poverty mentality when you're not used to having shit, of course you're gonna feel like the first thing you want to do is spend money on shit that you ain't never had. but you also have to have the right mentality when somebody put money into your hand. It's like any of y'all know y'all got certain friends. If I want to give this nigga to invest money in some shit, I know he got the right mindset, so I'm gonna give him the money because I know I'm gonna get some money back. This nigga over here, nah, he's not responsible. I'm not gonna loan him no bread because I know he's not gonna be responsible. Or not even just that, even about making me money. I might just want to put my man on and just give him some bread, but I know he's not the responsible type of nigga to make the most of that situation, so I'm not gonna give him money. But my friend over here, I know he'll make the most of the opportunity, so I'm gonna help him out. So like I say, like reparations is cool, but it's still up to the people, to us. Once we get that money, once we get those books, once we get those, they fix the schools and they fix the roads and they fix our communities and they do everything for us. It's still up to us to maintain it. They can go to the black community today and just revamp it, take a broad ass brush and just make it to, you know, Americana USA, but the people still have to maintain that neighborhood and still make that shit look nice, still make it a safe place for those kids to come outside. You see what I'm saying? So either fucking way is still up to us, no matter what they give us. And so that's my view on reparations. It's like it really don't matter at the end of the day. It's up to us. They're not going to solve our problems. We have to solve our problems. They can give us a head start. They can help us out, but it's still up to us regardless.
I think that's what it is. I think it's just it's not a head start. It's a catch-up start because they already.
I mean, yeah, you can call it a catch-up start, but you know, like I said, it's a catch-up start if you already on the path of catching up. Because you can give a nigga like, I'm gonna help you catch up, and then that nigga fall right back down. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's still up to you. Like, it's like, oh, you put me at a disadvantage. Like, all right, the white man put us at a disadvantage. Then the white man said, oh, I fucked up. Let me give y'all some money. After that, it's on us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't mean that every single person that's going to get the money is going to do what they're supposed to do with that shit. You know what I mean?
I think that's the point. Like, it's got to be a mentality because this is the thing. If they are offering, like, just go from my point. Like, I didn't say anything monetary as far as liquidation goes, as far as cash, because I think that it's more value in owning half of your house. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more value than having that. And you know, I think everybody in their 19, when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, you're gonna make bad decisions. But this is the thing: white people are able to make bad decisions, and they still got a fucking master's degree. So it's like, okay, well, you got a fucking master's degree. You got listen. You got $800,000 house you inherited. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I fully agree with you, Marcus. I think that it's a mindset because if we all are able to have 2 years of free education, how many people do you think out of 100% is actually going to take advantage of it? It's not going to be 100%. So you're right, but I also think that we didn't get a chance to make that decision. We didn't get a chance to get, you know what I'm saying?
Some people think they don't have that
decision. You do have a chance to have an opportunity because y'all know y'all went to schools with niggas who was in the classroom every day, had an opportunity to go to class, every day to sit there and learn. But you did it. You went to school and you studied every day and did what you were supposed to do. And then the nigga next door to you didn't do everything that you did, and that nigga is now saying, "Oh, I didn't have the opportunities." While there was a nigga right next door to him, like you, who didn't make the decision that he made. Now you made it out of that situation.
It wasn't cool to be smart.
You know what I'm saying? That nigga lived right next door to you, and y'all from the same neighborhood.
I'm not talking about the nigga that was next to me in class. I'm talking about the nigga that couldn't even make it to school. So we talking two different things. I agree with you.
Talking make it to school. That's what I mean. But couldn't make it to school because of what?
No, but it's some people
like this. The niggas who I knew niggas that couldn't make it to school, and the niggas who couldn't make it to school was because they had parents that was on drugs or some shit like that, or they had like a neglectful ass parent or somebody who wasn't taking care of them. But it wasn't an issue of opportunity. It's because they had fucked up households. That's what all the niggas that wasn't making it into school and doing what they were supposed to do. That had nothing to do with a lack of opportunity.
That's another aspect too.
But
not everybody don't have the path that we had. That's what you. I'm just thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking on the level of all of us was able to go to Bowie State, right? A lot of people that I grew up with that wasn't even able to do that shit, bro. And I don't want to blame them for their situation. You know what I'm saying? Because some of that shit, like you just said, some of that is not on them. They just ain't had an opportunity. So,
and I think the way we say opportunity, so opportunity can go a different way. So even like some people could say like I didn't have the opportunity to go to Bowie State, but it's not necessarily like the opportunity where it's like growing up out of high school, like I literally had to pick whether if I was going to go to college or if I was going to bring money back home to my family to feed my family and like provide for my family and actually be like I don't want to say or to start on a maybe not a career but start on a job right then and there. And so like
Learn a trade.
I didn't want to take the full risk. And then even as we talk about, I mean, even before we get to like making that decision for college, like it's especially like right now, knowing what I know and what I know, there are like people in cities in DC especially, and you talk about shitty households, whereas though like there are kids that are literally taking care of their younger siblings and like literally having to go and drop off their younger sibling at a different school before they can even go and do whatever the fuck they have to do at their own school. And that's what's causing them to like, be behind in school and different things of that nature. So that's why I mean that's another like thing, and it is just might necessarily not even be a fucked up like household, whereas though it's on the parents, but like sometimes the parents are trying to do all that they can, but at the same time they just don't have whatever.
Yeah, and that's it's like, you know, I'm more talking about like an equal playing field and just to touch point. I fully agree with everything you're saying, Marcus. I do feel like it's on the people to make the best out of what the situation's going to provide for them. That's it.
Yeah, and it just the last thing I'm gonna say on this is like even as far as like the same circumstances you talking about, Alex, or like you talking about like, you know, parents, like everybody don't come from fucked up households. I'm just saying from personal experience, from what I've seen, whenever I see like the kids taking their younger kids to school, that means they've got a single parent household or they got parents on drugs. Like that's usually what I've always seen when I see that situation. But what I will say is these issues are not specific to race though. There's white people who go through these same exact things. Like I feel like a lot of us have this misconception where like a white person will assume that, oh, because you're black, you're poor. And we as black people have this thing where we assume that because they're white, they're doing better than us, which is not the case. I know that. I know niggas right now under 40 that's making six figures. Hold on, let me finish. I know niggas right now who's under 40 making six figures and still think that white people are oppressing them when you're doing better than 90% of the white population. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these niggas ain't rich. You know what I'm saying? It's just the elite ones make it seem like it's like you see like, you know, the business owners, the elite whites, and then you think that everybody, all other white people are a reflection of them. Have you niggas ever like driven through like fucking central Maryland, gone up like northern Maryland, like Hanover or fucking like Cumberland? And like all these old like fucking these white people, man, come on, man. These niggas like y'all like they're not rich bougie niggas. Like most of them are not like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's a misconception we have. I think that's a big misconception a lot of us have, young. Like, you know, I'm just keeping it real, bro.
Right, but I don't know if 6 people on this call have that misconception, because I don't. I do think that there is a particular advantage that comes with not being enslaved for 400 years. So
in this age,
But what I will say, I think the biggest advantage is having family structure and having a strong family lineage, and be like, all right, this is what my grandparents, this is what my father did, and you pass it down and pass it down and pass it down. A lot of us come from broken houses and broken families, so we don't really have that mindset of, you know, creating, establishing now, passing down to the next generation.
Longevity.
A lot of us don't have that mentality. Yeah, that mentality of longevity. So the so-called privilege, people who have privilege, that's just been established before they even came into place. But we can do that too. We can do the same thing.
To touch on that though, I just want to touch on that real quick. You talking about the family structure. I think it's I think that's why we got all these wars and shit, whatever. But like my wife, she's from Puerto Rico, and I'm not even just gonna touch on Puerto Rico, but like we see like the Mexicans and a lot of Latin America or whatever, when they come over here, it's like 10, it might be 10 8 motherfuckers in one house or whatever, and they're not like sending their kids out to get their own house or whatever. Like in America, like when you 18, when you 18, you gotta get the fuck out the house or whatever. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get out the house and yeah, you're supposed to get the fuck out the house and do your own thing or whatever. But like they have a whole different type of family construct. I think the westernized shit is it fucks up a lot of shit, man. It fucks up a lot of shit. I think if we change the family structure around, I think we change the family structure, and
I mean, all the people I know with so-called privilege, or it seems like they seem to. I'm talking about anybody who, for the most part, they're doing well, and they seem like their mindset is in the right place. They came from strong family backgrounds. You know, if you ask them what your grandparents did, how your parents, everybody had their shit together. That's usually the case. Like, how you be like, oh, why are you guys still doing so well today? Oh, what did your parents do? Oh, they did okay. How'd your grandparents do? Oh, they did okay. That's privilege right there. That's what privilege is.
Yeah, and so you're
like that. They ain't got it.
Marcus, that's what you spoke on just 5 minutes ago, but I think that's priceless. You know, generation to generation for 400 years, and you pass down. If you pass down one thing to the next generation, that's it. That means a lot to the current. You know what I'm saying? Generation. I think that shit is priceless, and we can't think that that's not something that's like worth it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I see what I'm doing. I'm not dismissing the 400 years or none of that. What I'm saying is that the people who benefited off that the most are not the average white person you see walking around here. These niggas are not the descendants of privilege. The people who we're talking about privilege are the fucking big time business owners, the niggas, like some of these big ass companies that probably own Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Some of them niggas probably used to own slaves. I mean, I'm not trying to put it on Coca-Cola and Pepsi. What I'm saying is that these big ass companies
sure they did,
have been connected.
I was gonna say that's
all the
the
way back
people
in the
that's
time.
mad though.
But the average white dude that's in your office has no fucking privilege. That nigga was not privileged. That nigga who just went to school and got a degree.
I want to talk.
You know what I'm saying? The average nigga. You said I'm talking about the average. I know that that's the average white person in your office probably just went to school and got a degree and got a job.
So I do want to talk because this is the thing. I don't want to compare myself with the CEO of Coca-Cola. When I'm thinking about people that are that have advantage and that have more of a head start, so to speak. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back. Let's say, because I don't want to talk about my current situation, but let's say 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? If one of the white people I was working with 7 years ago, he wasn't a baller, he wasn't this and that, but he inherited 2 lake houses that were probably worth like $800,000 each, and so he's not the CEO of Coca-Cola, but guess what? That shit carries your lineage for a long time, and my thing is,
good for him.
we don't have that mindset. That one, and two, we don't have that advantage of being able to pass down this, and so that's my thing. Even the average person, and I know that there's people that are less well off than us that are not minorities, but I'm more talking about even the average white person. Like I feel
the average white person ain't got shit to pass down to their kids, man. I feel like you giving these niggas too much credit, dog. Like I'm telling you, bro. We look at the ones, the super privileged, and we think all of them is like that. I'm sorry.
No, that's the thing. Like for the past 7 years, that's all I've been around, and I know that they're way well off than what we are. So I don't know. Maybe we just disagree on that part.
I think I just be around more blue collar worker type white guys. So I think that's probably why I think that.
Having certain jobs, I've been around blue collar people that I can relate to. So. But for the majority, I do think some are better well off than others.
Mm-hmm. It was about.
But where do these people who live? Because look, I live in Gaithersburg. The white people who live in Gaithersburg It's not like these niggas is like, oh, I got a mansion to pass down to my kids. Like when you go to like who these like when you was in high school, who were the white kids who had like a house waiting for them right after they got out of school? Like who were these privileged kids you're talking about?
Yeah, you're in Gaithersburg, and the NIST Institute is in Gaithersburg. That's the NIST. Those IT bammers is making like $250 a year.
Okay, but those are niggas that work at NIH. I'm talking about the average Joe
NIST,
Schmo who just got a job. I'm not talking about the NIH niggas.
No,
30% of the population lives here because they could go to NIST. So I'm just, it's like I don't know. Maybe
I'm
it's
talking about the average everyday white dude you just see walking down the street. I'm not talking about the ones who's like making six figures and out here killing the money.
You on the
about
outskirts of
the
the
average
richest county in Maryland, bro. You on the outskirts of the richest county in Maryland.
But listen. I think this is the thing because we're talking about perspective and we're talking about the everyday walk around white person. I think it pertains to what area you're in. And so,
well, I'm supposedly in the rich white county, right? And I'm just saying I don't be seeing it.
Oh yeah, they got money out there.
So I guess I'm closest to these niggas, and I still don't be seeing it.
You got money out there, bro.
Shit.
I mean, I've lived out here half my life, and I haven't like of course they got pockets, nice neighborhoods, just like they got pockets of areas where like, oh, that's where the niggas be at. Oh, that's the neighborhood where the niggas with money be at. But the average motherfucker, like if you go to Germantown, Maryland, I guess y'all don't know, the majority of Germantown is townhomes and apartments, and those neighborhoods are diverse as fuck. You got African people, Indian people, Asian people, all living in the same goddamn neighborhood. Yeah. So I don't go out. I see like it's so diverse out here. So that's why I'm like if the white people were so privileged, why are they in the same neighborhood as everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got the white people who live in the really nice areas. Okay, you can call them privileged. But the average white motherfucker probably live in like an apartment, a townhouse, like, but I don't know. That's why I don't see it. I'm supposed to be right next to these niggas. I don't see it. Like I know there's people who live in nice Potomac is Montgomery County, but guess what? Most people don't live in Potomac. Probably 0.5% of the Montgomery County population lives in Potomac. But those are niggas why it seems like those niggas in Montgomery County are so privileged. They're like outliers. They're fucking outliers compared to everybody else. The average white motherfucker that live in Montgomery County live in a townhouse or an apartment.
You talking about Silver Spring? Silver Spring is not.
Silver Spring is Silver Spring is as diverse as they come. So Silver Spring is super diverse.
What was you gonna say, Al? You look like you was about to talk.
Nah, so the only thing I was just gonna say is, I mean, it's just a generational wealth portion. Whereas though, you know what I'm saying, it's the houses and so I don't necessarily know because I can't speak to like the different places outside of PG County where I grew up and knowing about like people who have lived in that house, even if it wasn't lived in that house or lived in like a variation of that house, whereas that house has been passed on for generations and generations. And that's where, like, you know what I'm saying, like you're able to accumulate generational wealth, where though even if it's not necessarily like it wasn't, the old thing is don't sell grandma's house or what have you like that. But in our community, sometimes we have to sell grandma's house because we don't necessarily have a way to provide for ourselves beyond the house that was passed down to us. But if grandma's house is worth X, Y, and Z in the same neighborhood, but because grandma's house has been paid off and everything of that sort, based off of like living there and different.
You can't keep up with them taxes.
Say it again.
I said we can't keep up with them taxes, even if it is paid off.
No, but even if you can't keep up, I mean, if the house is paid off and the only thing you have to pay on it is the taxes, like I mean, like you
maintenance, all types of shit.
Depends on the location. If it's something like hot in DC, no, them taxes too much.
But I wasn't talking about it.
No, but I'm just going.
But no, I mean, what Marcus says, like, I mean, the people in Germantown, like I said, I can't speak to Germantown. I can only speak to PG County, and I can only speak to like the neighborhoods in which I live in. And like literally, I know like the same way, like the people I know moved into those neighborhoods, and that was based off of like, you know what I'm saying, like the families or what have you. But the other people, the non-Black people were generationally handed those houses down, or I don't want to say handed those houses down, but those houses were passed down from family to family and family. Whereas opposed to like we the black people or my friends, I would just say my friends moved into those neighborhoods. So as opposed to like being, that's what's it called? Tom's grandmother used to live there 30 years ago, but now they passed that house on to Jake. Jake now lives there with his son and kids and different things of that nature. So that's the only thing with the generational aspect.
I don't hear too many stories like that.
It's a lot of homes in DC that's just like that. People who live in DC who like their grandmother didn't own that house for like 4 generations, and they still live in that house to this day. You know what I'm saying? My family actually used to own land in Georgetown back when Georgetown was a black neighborhood and shit, and they bought that shit out for like dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it was. That's just, back. I guess when you ain't have a lot of money, you don't know what your land is worth. You know what I'm saying? And they bought that shit for dirt cheap.
Can nobody forecast gentrification? They ain't know.
And so
If they did sell it.
Because I was actually a realtor as well for 6 years, so I kind of, maybe that's something that I've learned from city to city and from county to county. I've actually done my research on wealth and the percentage of what Caucasians make versus whites versus Mexicans versus this. I don't think facts can lie, and I definitely think that as far as salary goes, one, as far as location goes, if you own a fucking $800,000 house and the shit keeps appreciating, and you pay your fucking house off, you're automatically a millionaire. Like that shit doesn't translate to the fucking hood. That shit don't translate to Kenilworth Avenue and Martin Luther King Jr. fucking highway. Like it don't transfer to that. So that's all.
I hear that.
Well. I hate to close a conversation and I hate to cut it short, but to wrap this episode up, this has been a nice intellectual debate, intellectual discussion that we need to continuously have in our communities, one way or the other. I enjoyed it. Make sure you are following us on Instagram, The Flight Room TV. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment, like us, stay in contact.
Like us, love us.
Well, holla.
Ain't hit a chord.